pieces.
Welcome to a new episode of RepYourKasi, new season, new people, new agenda. This time around, we're going to be focusing more on entrepreneurship and art, and we're going to basically be trying to show you that entrepreneurship is basically art, right? So today I have Tess and I have Ian Rains. I'm going to start with like an introduction for Tess. Tess is an entrepreneur. She is the creator, founder, and sole person running Ramina Creatives, which is a gifting business. If she found a way to tell you guys or to show you guys how to like love your people, and and if you want to like get them gifts and stuff, this is the person to talk to. Ian Rains, on the other hand, is an artist from Malamlele. Is a rapper. Do you prefer a rapper, musician? Artist is because we don't know. So Ian Rains is an artist from Malamlele, which is a hood township in Limpopo. R81, you get to Malamlele same time. It's on the road, right?
Yes, sir.
Easy.
Yes, sir.
So what's up, guys? Tess, you wanna tell us where you start from? Where does Tess hail from? Guyana,
All of a sudden I'm nervous.
It's all good.
Okay, do I introduce myself or just...
Nah, just, I don't know. Like, let's introduce Ramina Creatives, because that's what we're here to talk about. Where does the idea come from? Do you have it like from high school, or like this is something that like you got in varsity after working, or?
Okay, so Ramina Creatives is a gifting business, just like you introduced it. I started it in 2017. So I'm basically a creative. Like, I'm a hectic DIY person.
Yeah.
So I won't really say the idea started when I actually started the business. I started channeling my creativity when I was in varsity. In high school, not so much because I was a nerd.
Yeah.
So I started channeling my creativity in varsity. And I started the business officially in 2017.
Yeah. Is it like when you say like creativity, like you consider yourself an artist?
Yeah.
In a sense, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So, entrepreneurship, art, basically. Ian, where does the music start from?
What's up, everybody? Like to introduce me, the name is Ian Rainswell. I started music at a very early age. I was 11.
Yeah.
I was 11 years old. My cousin is the one who actually got me into music. Shout out Gift if you're watching this.
Yeah, shout out to Gift, man.
Who put me on that. At first I was whack, but that didn't discourage me.
Yeah, he just kept on.
Discourage me because there were people like Soulja Boy who was whack ass, so I was like,
Soulja Boy is not whack.
I was that.
By the way,
Soulja Boy whack.
the views.
Forget it. He's important to the culture, but he's whack. So yeah, man. Because I was that competitive, I kept on going in, kept on improving, and as time went, in terms of inspiration, I gravitated towards Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Especially, that's why you hear a lot of punchlines in my music and stuff like that. So basically, it started from a point of competitiveness and then ended up being something that I love because I spent so much doing.
Alright, I feel you. So I want to just do like I'm first gonna like just dive into what Tess is doing, and then we're gonna get to your music and your what you're busy with. So Tess, like you have a new business now, that you said is gonna like fit into Ramina Creatives, which is like greens, Do you wanna like tell us more about that? Where does like plants, and the love for, just green and and turning it into a business, Because with you, I feel like, there's a lot of things that you like to do, and you somehow find a way to turn that into like an entrepreneurial venture. And I think that's pretty cool. But I really want to just like talk about how green is gonna be working well within what Ramina Creatives already is.
Okay, so I think to answer that, I have to start with explaining what Ramina Creatives does.
Okay.
So we do personalized gifts. So gifts that have like a very personal touch to them. Gifts you won't really just walk into a store and find. So it's your gifts that have people's names on it, like gifts that create memories or that are just memorable in general. So the business that you just spoke about now, the greens business, is a plant business. It's currently running, but not so much because I'm still working on an online store for that. So how I plan to incorporate that is Ramina Creatives being a gifting business. People always gift people with flowers and plants. So I started like a plant business to also incorporate it into the gifting business, but have it as an individual business as well, for people who are just mainly interested in plants and not gifts.
So if say you have like a wedding or a funeral and you need flowers.
Not flowers, plants.
Plants.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
What's the difference?
Flowers and plants.
Okay. So it's flowers and plants.
No, not
just plants.
Just plants, yeah. But in Ramina Creatives, we do flowers now and then, but it's not like the main thing.
Yeah. I was stalking your Instagram, yesterday, and it's crazy how I like to believe, I saw Ramina Creatives be born. You know what I mean? I think I remember the first time, Ramina Creatives came online on Instagram, everybody following. But what it's grown to right now, and how it's kind of like become where, like, if you want to show somebody that, yo man, I really care about you, call Tess, and Tess is gonna, and I don't think, but then that your market is still secluded in Guyana, because I think it's spread out. But I want to talk about like quickly, and how, when it started, how was the market response from where you come from?
The market response was great, actually. Yeah, I got to learn that a lot of people from home were not too much into gifting. Yeah, we're not very much into. They were into gifting, but not so much.
Yeah.
So Ramina Creatives came and introduced a different angle of gifting, like a very personal. Instead of buying someone just chocolates, get them something that relates to them, to who they are, or what they're most likely to appreciate.
Yeah.
So instead of just buying someone a gown.
I think it's important, like that you said also, like that people were not really into it, because like in small towns you usually get these ideas that people from here don't really do that, so why would I start a business in that? But you started a business that you saw that people aren't really like into it, but then once it was available for them, then that's what people start flocking there, and that's pretty cool. So you talked about an online store, and the prospects of that, so how does like selling online now help you, and like improve to like your growth prospects, besides what is already happening with Ramina Creative right now? And where does like the trajectory go after like it sets up online? Are we going international? Are we shipping to China? We're shipping to
we already are
really
shipping to
like people outside of South Africa. Where have you shipped to?
Zimbabwe. What's the other place? Zimbabwe.
So people like call you up from Zimbabwe and like, yo, they wanna.
So we have an online payment system, so anyone can pay from anywhere in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright. Which I think we should put that also, on the bio for the video, so that people know that. I didn't know that. I was not aware of that. People are. So it's Zimbabwe. So we're trying to take advantage of that situation with the online store right now.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. And I saw that you were doing, like, you do like these exposés of, you did like marriage, married people, Is that just
really married people? It just happened
couples,
that everyone
was married.
married.
So it was a couples thing.
Yeah.
But how does like, again, like with these things that you like to do and turning them into business, like where do you like get these ideas? Like, alright, what, I'm gonna just start, doing bios of people's relationships. Is that your target market?
So my
usually,
not necessarily. So Ramina Creative's target market is everyone.
Okay.
In celebration of love. I believe if you decide to gift someone, it's because you love them.
Sure.
Yeah. So the series was just for Valentine's Day, and Valentine's Day revolving around romantic relationships, not mainly like friendships, but romantic relationships. So the series Celebrating Love with Ramina Creatives it's not really a new concept, but it was inspired by I don't know if you know Mpumi Dwaba. She also had a show, I think 2 years back, The Love Journey.
I don't know. Do we know Mpumili Dwao, guys?
Yeah. So yeah. She had a show, The Love Journey, and another one, Black Love. It's also it's there on YouTube. So it was inspired by that.
Yeah.
So
shout out to Mpumili Dwao, by the way. Inspiring dope things.
Yeah. So I decided to incorporate into the Valentine's hype and celebrate love. Have people tell their stories around love and how gifting has grown their relationships or maintained their relationships through gifting. Yeah. So the people on the panel, on the series, were people who have bought something for each other from Ramina Creatives.
That's pretty cool. So either than buying a product, also we're gonna give you that, that like we actually care about you and we actually want to document how you guys are loving each other, you know what I mean, and why these gifts were necessary for you
to also inspire other people.
So that's the extra mile, actually. That's pretty cool. But were you always an entrepreneur though, like as like a young person, you know?
Like I said, in high school I was a nerd. Like all I ever cared about was
ideas, maybe
books.
Like jotting down ideas and one day. Never.
From grade 1 to matric, all I cared about was books.
So it's never too early.
Yeah,
to start.
It's never too late.
Too late. I mean, it's never too late for you to have an idea and start. You can't. This idea that I'm not really like a business person. I've always just been a student. Did my work. But if you see like a market, what's this? An opening? What's a window of opportunity? That's like textbook talk for business management students.
Yeah.
So if you see that window of opportunity, take full advantage of it and start. I think that's also like what we're doing here, just starting, it's a young startup. And shout out to Tess for showing us that, there's somewhere that we're going. I'm gonna get to you now, Ian Reigns.
What's poppin'?
We're gonna get a little bit of screw talk, you know what I mean? Just to make it, just to balance it out for the youngins. So with you, dog, like you're working with you see what I did there? I just like switched up and started like dog,
No, switched up with the lingo.
Yeah, that's like hosting 101, bro.
Right.
So I was listening to your project, bro. Let's call it the earlier one.
Love them all, trust nobody.
Love them all, trust nobody. What's love them? Why are we loving them all and not trusting them at all?
Because you can't trust nobody, bro.
Really?
That's all it is, bro.
Yeah.
Like, that's all it is. It was clean, and that's the stage of my life I was at. To be honest, you know what I mean. Like prior to the EP, because I was working on a mixtape which I still am working on. It's called Reign Supreme. So Love Them All, Trust Nobody is a cutaways EP for Reign Supreme. There's I lost a couple of team members due to disloyalty. People not being
rappers.
Not rappers, bro. It's just people in general.
You don't feel like that.
It doesn't have to be with rappers. The reason I was so comfortable with putting it out is because all of us go through a point of betrayal in life.
I feel you.
So that's why I was so comfortable putting that out, man. Like I was just going through a phase where like it seemed like everything was falling apart when it was actually like falling into place, because those loose ends that I got rid of actually like sped up the process of whatever I was doing. So Love Them All, Trust Nobody came at a time when I was heavily betrayed, my heart was heavy, and I just put it on wax and put it on the mic. I wasn't afraid to put it out because I knew people would relate.
That's beautiful. You listen to hip hop, Tess?
Yeah.
What's like?
I used to actually.
Yeah, what do you mean you used to?
Okay, I do listen even now, but lately I haven't been, because adulting.
But hip hop, I don't know. Don't you feel like?
I used to be very big on hip hop, like in high school and varsity.
Who are you listening to?
Drake was my guy.
Drake is everybody's guy.
Drake was my guy.
So like Reigns, bro. There's this song on your project, right? And you know what song I'm gonna be talking about, right?
I already know.
And I think and I like that song so much. The song, by the way, is called "Shooting for the Stars." It's on this dude's project. I think that song, like incorporating just challenges, you know what I mean, that you go, and like how people like project themselves in the future, you know what I mean. I think like we can all relate to that, like you probably, before thinking that you're gonna get into like business, right, had like a certain projection of yourself, never thought that you're gonna get into business. So within what he talks about in the song, right, is that what do you say? At 18,
at 18 I'll finish high school.
Yeah.
At 21 I'll graduate school. At 22 I'll probably further my studies too. But things don't always go your way. Things change.
Yeah.
But if
that's profound. I thought that was really profound. I want to talk about like challenges, bro. You know what I mean? Like, but then we're gonna make it a little bit more relatable to artists that come from the same background as you, which is like artists from Limpopo, right? And I think there's a very huge political chat with how these dudes and come from back there, come to the city and are just trying to make it, and like basically the challenges that you know, because most of us get a ticket to come to Joburg because of school. Nobody's like just leaving home to come here, like tell your mom, I'm coming to Joburg to do music, mom. Doesn't really work like that. So how do artists like work with that dynamic of doing your schoolwork to stay in Joburg and also becoming an artist in the city, in like Gauteng, not Joburg. When I like Joburg, I mean like, you know, the city.
Well, to mention that, I think it's gonna differ with different people because of the plans they might have for themselves. You know what I mean? Sometimes the course you may be doing, you might not even have time for yourself. You might not even have time to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? So like for me, it was a thing where like I just wanted to rap. I wanted to rap, but my parents weren't having that. I was like, guys, trust me, like even if I go to school and I'm done, this is still the same thing I'm gonna do. I'm telling you,
I'm just doing this for you guys.
School because like I'm gonna go to school, I'm gonna study. Yes, I wanna do it. You know what I mean? Because I don't want to bring shame to you, and now you know what I mean. So I came out here with the mindset that okay, I'm gonna do my school stuff, but as much as I'm doing my school stuff, I'm gonna work on my music because that's all I want to do. I want to make music. I want to get better. So when I came here, I had the pressure that I'm here on borrowed time. I'm here on borrowed time.
And I feel like a lot of artists that come from every corner of, you know, South Africa, from these small towns, you know, whether you're from the Northern Cape, you're from, you know, Western Cape, you're from KZN. I remember watching an interview of Smashes, you know what I mean? That dude didn't even rap until he got to Joburg, you know. But you earn a ticket to be here, you know. And this I think is probably the hub where, you know, everything works out for an artist.
It truly is, and for me, I feel like that pressure of saying I'm here on borrowed time actually helped me because because I told myself that okay, fine, you know what, I just have to prove to them back home that I can make money from this, because I know once I show them the money, then they'll be pleased, because their only worry is that music doesn't make money, which is not true anymore. Like
I feel
music makes a lot of money, and so I just thought I'm gonna prove it to them. And then if I don't, that's why in the same song I mentioned that in the plans that I was mentioning that I had, that I'm gonna get a job, and when I do get a job, I'm gonna invest in my business, which is my music. You know what I mean? So that's always been the plan, that okay, I'm gonna do my stuff here, do my school stuff while pushing my music, and as soon as I leave here, whether it's for work or whether it's to go back home and go job hunting, I'm gonna make sure that I left my music.
So like on that note, like talking about like it making money, right? You and I earlier like talked about this event that you're doing at
the People's Party. The People's Party.
Is that the people? Is the People's Party's coming to Pretoria?
Yeah.
At 442. Alright, that's dope. That's dope. I don't know, like you didn't mention that.
It's the People's Party, man.
It's still the People's Party. So you taking a concept that you guys started from Alamlele into the city. That's crazy. That's actually like I think more, you know, worth talking about, you know. So is that the framework that has to happen for artists in the city? Because if we're talking about like it's not really like making money, and it takes a long time, you know, because you're talking about not the music making money for you, but you having to go get a job or do something else in order for it to fund the music, right? So is that way artists would have to get into entrepreneurial, you know, like that, stop, like not just be an artist that just creates, but then getting into the business side of it, that you're gonna organize an event, you're gonna call people to come perform, and then you also gonna perform there, and that's where like, you know, you can start, you know, showing up the racks that you can like show your parents, or bro, this is what I was talking about.
Definitely they have to go into that mind space, because it's very hard to build a team, you know, especially because like if you build a team where there's no income and there's no money that's circulating in the team yet, and there's just belief and just a dream, it's very hard to get loyal people who understand, because at the end of the day, you have this vision. But if you're lucky enough to have a team, you know, then you should have people who dive into those aspects, because to be honest, man, this thing only pays with shows, man. Music, streaming money, radio money, TV money is just spare change.
Yeah,
it's just spare change. So they have to get themselves in that aspect that, yo, I have to tour. You know, a lot of people still in this day and age still go like, nah, it's very difficult to tour in South Africa because people want Amapiano, people, and it's not even, bro. It's not even, because if you have a niche fan base, bro, if you're a hood nigga talking about hood stuff in your music, bro, a hood is a hood, and anybody around the world in a certain hood can relate. You know, so people just have to get into that space where they're able to locate their people, and do shows where their people are, and their people will come. So not only shows, but also dive into merch, man. Like
merchandise.
It's very cliche though, but it works. Trust me.
Do you have merch? Do you have merch? Not really yet.
Not yet.
Do you have a team though?
A team of?
Like, I don't know, just people that, you know, that you're doing this with, or is this you, like, single-handedly just, you know, samurai
I recently
jacking?
got an assistant,
Really?
and a team I have.
I need to get a PPPP. You know that PPPP. You know, Tess is an assistant, bro. Doing big things here, boy. You know. Alright. Oh, you got an assistant. When?
Yeah.
Alright. Okay. Are you paying her? I don't know. You're paying her well. You know.
Yeah,
you know,
do
you have an HR policy test? You know.
Speaking on that, one thing I forgot to mention on what I was speaking on is that the reason why I said that in the song about getting a job and investing is because any business needs a capital.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
that's facts.
You need
facts.
Money for marketing. Bro. You need money for a business. You need money to run a business. That's it.
I feel you.
You can't just, you know.
So let's talk about, bro, like we've talked about, you know, like growth, right? Let's talk about like growth for Northern artists. Like we've seen a couple Northern artists, you know. We've seen Mash Beat come to the city, you know, from around not so far from where you're from. Currently, you know, I think Black Myth is making, I don't know, I just saw something about Black Myth.
I think dropped the EP. It's called Fanaga Malamlele. Go stream Fanaga Malamlele.
Yeah. I saw.
I'm on 3 features out there.
Really? You're on 3 songs?
3 songs. Oh, that's my tag team partner, bro.
I saw Mchangani put him on to. I think they're doing like a segment on his hip hop show.
Oh yeah. They actually did it on Friday.
Really?
They did that on Friday. Yeah.
Were they shooting it or like was it live?
No. It was a radio interview over call. You know.
Yeah. Oh, alright, man. Yeah. Yo, shout out to Mchangani. Oh, you know what I mean? Putting these young niggas on and shit. You know. Yeah. Legendary.
That's dope.
Yeah. So production, bro. Like, who's doing your production?
Yosin, Tim, and Ashley. One of the best. You know what? Those 2 niggas are the best producers in the country.
Yeah.
No way. No gas.
Really?
No gas.
Yeah,
no gas.
I feel like every rapper feels that way,
gas.
I ain't even gonna say you lying. I'm not gonna.
No gas.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, like that song, bro. If did they do Shooting for the Stars, and are they on this next album?
They're on the next one too.
Reign Supreme.
Yeah.
How many songs are you doing for this one?
For this one, well, I've so far shortlisted 12 songs, but there might be more. Who knows? Find out on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. We'll see.
Alright. Have you ever like thought of like doing, I don't know, some creative painting, you know, music, craft, selling those things?
No, but I plan to work with artists who already do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
I've had customers who needed maybe a portrait done of someone they want to gift. Yeah. But the time frame was a bit too long for the time they needed.
Oh yeah, for the painters and stuff.
But I plan to work with artists like that.
Do you know any painters like by name that you know you'd wanna, you know?
From the top of my head.
Yeah, that people that we can also Instagram, you know what I mean, see what they're doing, you know.
I have a friend, she draws.
What's
her name is Push.
Push.
Push Success, yeah.
Push Success.
I'll share a handle, yeah.
Right.
She does paintings as well. Also another one, Refilo Makapi, she also does paintings.
Okay.
Yeah, those are the two I can think of from the top of my head.
I think I want to get a painter. Like I think, just diversify the artistry. You know, I don't know any painters, like personally, like to call through.
I know one.
Really?
Yeah, I know one. I can help you up with one.
Like cool.
I don't think you know him though, but like I'll set it up. I'll set it up for you.
Generally, guys, you know, let's now, like, I don't know, let's talk about the hood. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do you see like we've seen businesses in Guyana, you know, start, fail. Some are still alive. You know what I mean? Some have changed. We've seen the same. So, what is entrepreneurship? Do you think in your hometown? Like, is it at a developed level? Do you think it's developing? Is it like dead, or what's really happening from your perspective?
I think in Guyana it's getting there.
You think more people are starting their businesses?
Yeah. Another thing I realized with Guyana, there's a lot of creatives in Guyana.
Yeah,
and
a lot. Yeah.
Them having to change their creativity into businesses. There's something else. Yeah. So it's getting there.
Now, like, if we're talking about like because like we said, I think, remember, you said this, or all of these businesses are going to need capital.
Yeah.
So, as like just idealists right now, where does that capital come from? I mean, for these businesses,
the chat about capital is very tough when you are just starting out. Sometimes people are lucky enough to have sponsors, someone who sees the same vision that you do, and you know, decides to invest in you. And sometimes, man, you just have to put together the coins you have, just you know, just to have that start, just that small start that might give you a little bag, then continue growing like that. But it's very tough at first. It's very tough to get.
Tess, you wanna?
I think for I'm going to talk about creative businesses a lot because I'm in a creative space.
Yeah.
So I think for most creative businesses, you don't necessarily need capital. Looking at where the world is right now, it's very online. Yeah. Like, it's online based. So you basically just need to show off your creativity. Yeah. Put it online, Facebook, Instagram. You don't need to jump into having a website from like the first month. Yeah. You can have a website after a year, and that's after you've made like money in the business. Yeah.
I feel you.
I want to ask you the next question though, but at first, how did you gather your material for your gifting services?
So I didn't need material. I didn't need capital.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because I just presented myself as your gifting expert. If you need to gift someone, just come to me. I'll advise you on what to gift them. And all I needed was to just get, because I outsourced most of my stuff. I just needed to get the suppliers for if I need to embroider a gown, who's going to do that. Okay. So if you order a gown, you pay before I give you the gown.
Yeah.
So already I've discussed with the supplier how much everything's going to cost. So I didn't necessarily need my money to get your item.
So
I used your money.
As a middleman, and then work from there.
Yeah.
That's interesting because, like, especially talking about like having a database, you know what I mean, like a supply database, and how these small businesses do not really take into consideration the pragmatics of how you're going to be like healthily running your business and like cutting costs and stuff.
Yeah.
Have you like considered local suppliers?
Like, what do you mean local suppliers?
Like, say, I'm gonna just give like an example here. Like, say there's like dudes that own farms, you know, in the hood, right? If you're selling like quotas or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, you know, or like you're just selling food, you know what I mean? Like, you cook food and then you sell it to people. Do you feel like young entrepreneurs need to move away from buying from like places like I don't want to like just, you know, name drop these companies, but then these major retail companies, and just look for, you know, other avenues that could like save them a lot of money, granted that they can also guarantee the same quality though. I think that's, you know, like one thing that should happen between networks, or like these networks that we create, you know, like to move away from subscribing to these major companies that do not really need our money, but then just to build ourselves. I would say like if like say for like a robe, you know what I mean, find somebody who is like locally just chilling somewhere making robes and purchase from them.
Oh yeah, I am actually looking for people like that.
Yeah. Just keep it local.
Yeah.
Just like, I think
for the outsourcing services, I do work with small businesses. I don't outsource the embroidery from big companies.
It's just and you can, and I think it's important to note that your stuff is proper quality and you are getting not from those people. You know what I mean? So people that are just working out of their garage, you know what I mean, are making sure that the products are legit, the products are quality, durable, and it's worth something that, so if you give it to somebody, they won't feel like, yo man, this person is so cheap, you know what I mean? Like it's like actually something that they can like hold proper to their heart. When am I getting my, do I get like a complimentary, Musa doing things for the culture,
And for your merch, we can also do your printing.
Let's do it.
You see? You see what we're doing here, man? You see what we're doing here, man? Yeah, networking, bro.
So in your next episode, you'll be holding RepYourKasi mugs.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're gonna put them right there next to the Steve Biko.
You will have to hold it and be drinking something.
Stupid question, real quick, man. What do you guys think is the difference maker between big retail companies and the smaller ones? What do you think is the difference maker?
What do you mean difference maker?
In terms of, on the point where you were saying that these big retailers have like all the crowd and the smaller ones, the local ones, people hardly go. What do you think is the difference maker?
I'm sorry,
do you get me?
Yeah. I think I do. I think so, but the big retailers and the smaller smaller business, I think the difference is convenience. Like convenience.
The retailer has it on, like it's like right there for you.
And then if you have to get it from a small business, they'll tell you turnaround time is 8 days or 10 days, but you don't have 10 days to wait. So
that would be like another major challenge that small businesses have to.
So you heard it, small businesses, that's what you need to fix.
I feel you. Yo man, do you have some questions for you and Reigns? Not that you've thought of.
Come talk to me.
Come talk to me.
Let me think. You must cut the arms.
No, we're not cutting anything.
I didn't know I was gonna have to ask you.
We're having a convo. We're all in the same space.
Asking us. So you spoke about having studied just for your parents and then pursuing your music career. What did you study?
I studied construction management and quantity surveying.
Oh,
she's a quantity surveyor. You guys, she's a quantity.
And she shifted. She shifted, man.
Did you shift? Like,
I didn't really shift. I'm still working as a QS.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I see.
But that's not my end point. I share a similar story with him. But mine is like,
it's a lot.
Yeah, I can relate to his story.
Yeah, I relate to it like a lot also.
Yeah, I relate because I'm doing QS now, but I'm doing QS, but it's not my end point. I'm eventually going to have to leave it. It's not for me. But even before QS, I was doing medicine. So I've just been making bad choices my whole life.
I did BCom law.
So that's not a bad choice.
I did BCom law, accounting, then graduated in economics.
But for me, I feel like it took me having been in medicine and me having been in QS for me to become an entrepreneur.
I feel you.
While at med school, I never thought I'd become an entrepreneur until I had to shift to being a QS.
I feel you. Necessity. What about you? Like, are you still
me?
No,
me. I'm not working right now. Graduated. I'm done with school. You know? And I've just been working on my music, still job hunting because you
need to you need to buy some bread, man.
Exactly.
And the music right now,
can buy some bread with the little money I'm making, but it's not my end goal as well. So I know because I still have to invest more money into my business, which is my brand. I know that I need another income.
Do you feel like I don't know, I don't want to sound racial here, but do you feel like black children are kind of like strong held into one channel of career choices? Like you have to go get a standardized qualification.
I think it depends where you're from.
Mm-hmm,
The way I've seen it, it depends where you're from, because
your background.
I've met background, especially I'm from Malamlele, where like both my parents had they had to fight to actually have all they had. And they did it, you know. And they did it, and now they're just looking at me like, yo, you gotta do it too. Like this is the way that we were taught, because at the end of the day, we're all products of how we were raised, you know. And I was raised in that way that yo, we got it with qualifications. You don't need to go to school and get it too, you know.
But you don't feel like, you know, like in Guyana, there's and this is like my chat, like, you know, I'm so passionate about this, right? Because and one thing only also, there was supposed to be like a sports center in Guyana, right? And in my head, I'm thinking, yo man, the next best footballer could have came from Guyana. The next you know, best athlete could have came. These programs that we supposed to have, you know, I remember there was this teacher at the singer that was like just doing drama. Like he's a teacher. He has, what he's teaching has nothing to do with drama, but what he's doing is, you know, he's getting these kids to engage in something else other than what, you know, the government said is going to be your curriculum and what you're going to be taught, right? The weird thing, like I saw, like especially with like school, right, is that they don't really like teach you these things, man. You know what I mean? Like you have to like go out into the world, you know what I mean? Do your medicine, do QS, until you're like, alright, I'm gonna start a business, and then you're like, whoa, I am so not prepared for this, you know, and now I have to start, right? Do you feel like with music also, like say if there was like, I don't know, like in school, you know, they encourage people to do art, you know, to especially in government schools. Like we're not talking about private schools that can like choose their curriculum, because I went to a private school and we like they did like, okay, I'd go do plays, go, you know what I mean, like presentations, you know, artistry and stuff, right? But then I don't think that like it's a widespread curriculum in these schools for like to teach alternative employment opportunities for children. We're all just told, you know, if you can't pass maths above 50, and forget about working in the office, bro. You know what I mean? You know, So like, what's your chat about that? Like, what do you think can be done to make sure that the next Ian Reigns of the next generation doesn't have to tell his parents that he wants to go do QS, even though he doesn't really care about QS, in order for him to get to a point where he's doing music, you know what I mean, and to have that opportunity? Where do you think we need to, you know what I mean?
Wow, to be honest, you're probably gonna hate what I'm gonna say right now. I'm half and half about it, because looking at my journey, I didn't really need that, you know, like every door I knocked on and that was closed on me actually helped me to do everything else myself, and for me to empower myself, and that made me a bit different, you know. That made me move a bit different. It made me think a bit different, you know, especially because like the South African music scene, the whole industry is a closed circle. It's a very gated community, you know what I mean? It's a very small industry, bro, and there's so many of us just trying to get in, you know, so many of us trying to get in, that even if we had that maybe a development facility, maybe, because they do have a couple of them in hoods. There's that old Mutual studio, I think it's in Soweto, I'm not sure where it's at, but
that's still Joburg.
Yeah. But even then, with those opportunities there in Joburg, like it's still very hard to get into that gated community, to get into that space, because you're not guaranteed anything. You're not guaranteed anything, and because of this day and age and the internet and everything, when you learn to do things yourself and not depend on anyone, that's when people end up seeing you moving and they end up calling you and stuff. So I'm half and half about it. Like I would say like they should build it, but I'm saying even if they do, like You know, even if they do, it's still gonna be.
It's still gonna be gated. But
Be
then it would be like making the circle bigger. You know.
Yeah. It would definitely, but for the next Ian Reigns, do it yourself, kids. You don't need nobody. Do it yourself.
What do you think? Yeah, do you think Mr. Mike Nkuna should come through and talk to the kids? You know?
I think I'll talk from my experience.
Yeah.
I mean, it took me having to be in varsity for me to actually realize I'm creative.
Yeah.
I didn't know I was creative in high school because all I knew was books. In my school, I went to a government school. In our school, we didn't even have like much sports. Yeah. I remember we played netball like once.
This is Gena,
yeah. Don't name drop.
Oh.
Yeah.
Shut up. Gena was dope though, you know what I mean?
Yeah, all we ever did was school.
Yeah. And it did produce a whole lot of smart people.
Yeah.
And that's what they focus on.
That's what they focus on, yeah.
So what they do apply the efforts to actually succeed. So so make it a little bit more alternative, I guess. You know?
Have music class, music class, drama class. Yeah, like your school, swimming lessons. Yeah, maybe I don't want to be a QS, I just want to swim for a living. So I think we like that.
I feel you. Yeah, man, I think we've covered a lot today, you know. I think we've talked about the important things that the youth need to know, you know. We've covered a dope business that we, you know, saw within our time, you know. What is estate? What is your EST?
What's EST?
When did you established?
2017.
Yeah, 2017. Yeah, EST 2017. You know, Ian Reigns, young artist. You know, still doing his thing. You know.
What's Ian Reigns, by the way? It sounds Afrikaans.
I've heard so many people say that. What? What does it mean? What's Ian Reigns?
Yeah, it sounds like
Ian Reigns.
It sounds
Ian Reigns.
Ian Reigns. It's actually spelled IAN, not double-EN. Yeah, it's Scottish. Don't ask.
Like, what does it mean?
It means gift.
Oh, Ian means gift.
So it's a name.
It's a name, IAN. You've never heard the name before?
Ian.
Never heard Ian.
Okay, Ian, yes.
Yeah. So white people name. I have no idea.
So is that your name?
Yeah, that's my real name. Ian.
Oh, and then Reigns.
And
Ian
then
Reigns.
my first name is Dunisani. So Dunisani means praise, and you praise something that reigns, right? Ian Reigns.
Yo, it sounds Afrikaans.
Yeah, Reigns supreme. Ian Reigns.
Yeah.
It's
Ian Reigns.
different. Yes.
You dig.
No,
that's my
we
name.
like
That's
Ian
my
Reigns.
So
Ramina. That's my
Ramina.
government.
Yeah.
You know?
So
A
that's
lot of
Ramina.
people call me. A lot of people think Ramina is my name.
Really?
Yeah.
That's kind of switch.
But Tess, like, you kind of like, you know, everybody knows you though. Why would is it like people that don't know you, like people not from your hood? I mean, like you don't
No,
need any
like new
introduction.
customers who don't know me personally, they just bump into the business.
Yeah,
So
like,
when they contact me, they're like, "Hey, Ramina."
Oh,
I'm like,
yeah. Oh, alright. That's not even. Do you know anybody named Ramina?
No.
What does Ramina mean anyway? What does
It sounds
Ramina
Muslim.
mean?
It's not even Ramina.
Really?
It's Ramina.
Ramina, like Ramina.
Oh, Ramina. Yo, Ramina.
Yeah.
No, like the way we say it sounds really Muslim.
Like Ramina.
Yeah.
Oh, alright. They mean like the way some people say it.
No, like obviously as a song will say like
Ramina. Ramina. It's mine.
So my
Nicole,
Ramina
you need to learn Tsonga, by the way. Yeah. Yes.
So my Ramina is Ramina. It's not Ramina.
Yeah,
but
it's
Ramina sounds exotic.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
I took it from
Ramina.
I was looking for a name. I wasn't planning on naming my business after my name.
Yeah.
Oh,
Alright.
So I took it from a phrase Boko Ramina for my love for working with my hands.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Maboko Mamina doesn't sound cool. Let me use the singular form of it.
Yeah.
Boko Ramina.
Someone once told me like there's two businesses that people create, you know. There's a legacy business and there's a business to sell. Have you decided which one Ramina is yet? You don't have to tell her, you don't have to say it right now, but like do you know what you want? Alright, okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
So after like he says it sounds what?
exotic.
I was a Muslim, right?
Muslim.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
after
Oh,
I
that's
decided
cute. That's cute, by the way, behind the camera. You know what I mean? Making me look good, you know. And that's Nicole over there, making you guys look good.
yeah. So
Yeah.
oh yeah, so I decided it's going to be Ramina, and then I punched it on Google, and the Hindu meaning of it is the ability to finish whatever you start.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's actually
What?
for real.
Yeah.
Q, you were spot on, bro. Like Q had it. Like
Yeah.
I feel like you guys know each other. Don't you live in Centurion? Q's from Centurion.
What's your name?
I don't know, man. I mean, like you.
Not really.
If you don't, I'm Steve. My kid is gonna be called Ramina. What did you say that means in Hindu again?
The ability to finish whatever you start.
Come on.
Yeah.
Ramina.
So that helps me a lot in
Ramina.
the.
Is that
in the
you think that's the
business.
pronunciation, Ramina?
Nah, I'm pronouncing like that. It's good.
Ramina.
Ramina.
So say the full name. Ramina Creatives. No, Ramina Creatives.
Alright, guys. I think we can wrap it up. It's been a dope show. First episode back on RepYourKasi. Please follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Creature Unknown without the O because it looks like a 0 and none of us are. So also somebody told me about like YouTube channels. You have to tell people subscribe and like our video and also something about notifications. Switch on your notifications and then man. Today I had Tess Chauke, entrepreneur. She started Ramina Creatives, gifting company, gifting business, and we had Ian Rains. Do you like best rapper in Malamlele, or like there's somebody who you like, you still
What's
Savella?
poppin', guys? It's Ian Rains, the best rapper in the world. Don't forget his name. You gonna be screaming it.
You even say he's the best rapper in Malamlele for some reason. I don't know.
In the world.
Alright.
If you send my shout outs, man, I know. Send a shout out to the people I'm still working with, man. That's Yosin Tim.
Yeah.
Shout out Yosin Tim, man. That man's a beast with the 808. Shout out Ashley, super producer. Shout out Moon, super producer as well. Black Myth, that's my tag team partner, man. We host the People's Party together with Vijo, Shout out the boys, People's Party Pretoria happening on the 1st of May. It's an annual event back in Malamulele. And Reign Supreme coming soon. Go stream my music, man.
Woo! I need sound effects, bro. I need the pee. I really need to get that.
Do I also have to send a shout out?
Yeah. Do you wanna?
You can.
Okay, shout out to all friends of Ramina. I call anyone associated with Ramina friends of Ramina.
Yes.
So shout out to everyone associated with Ramina, friends of Ramina. We're also on YouTube, so follow us, Ramina Creatives.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely. At Ian_Rains on Instagram and Twitter. Find my stuff in the description of this link.
And I'm Lindumusa Chauke, Moose LD. Yes, but no relation to Shilo.
One thing about Lind,
Yeah.
So we went to the same preschool.
Yeah.
And he doesn't remember that he was my best friend.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know, but that was
Our
like.
dads used to work together.
yeah.
And so we had just
Was it
arrived
Busy Bee?
backyard. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. But I left you there, that's why you forgot.
Yeah. I don't remember any. I remember Musa. Yeah, Musa Voma. That's my homie from that. Yeah. Were you there when you were there?
Worked together.
Yeah.
And then I think your dad suggested the school to
Yeah,
my dad.
to Busy Bee.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when I got there, they're like, yeah, that's
Busy
my
Bee,
son.
bro. Busy Bee peeps doing the things out here in Pretoria. Yeah, man. RepYourKasi all the time. Peace out.
Peace.
Varsity life, hitting 10 fish and noodles. Late night studying, just trying to push through. Better days are coming, man, those thoughts are crucial.